Ooh, what you say, T. Danielle? T. Danielle said, this church mess got me want to leave the beef sector with you. Way more entertaining. Good morning, Sugar. Hey, Sugar. Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hey, Sugar T. Danielle. So, yeah, I was over there watching Judge Alicia. But I said, let me get this video in because right before she went on, the judge went on. And let me put her. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can do this. I want to put her link in the chat because she's somebody I watch and I enjoy. I watch. I don't think that Mad TV cares too much for me. Mad, what's his name? Mad Church, whatever, Marcella. Because I've been up and down with Daryl Moore, but I enjoy watching Marcella. Of course, y'all know I enjoy watching St. James. I enjoy watching Tarsha Global. Yes, T. Danielle, come on over here and join us because it's going down over here. I even go over there and watch Thais. I watch Jives. Jives had Miko on there, and I love myself some Miko. Yeah, Tasha, she heard it. She be going in. Yes. Did you watch St. James last night, T. Danielle? Did you watch St. James? So let me say some stuff before I get started because I'm gonna go ahead and get started because I don't want this video to go long, and I got a lot to cover. You can't do Jabba Hutt. That's why y'all call Thais. But anyway, let me say some stuff before I get this started. Okay, so first of all, let me apologize for the beeping sound from my fire sensor. It's up in my loft. And that means I have to get somebody to come out and do it. Hey, Tracy Whitehead. Hey, Sugar. I have to get somebody to come out and do it because of its positioning in the loft. And I always say every year that I'm going to mark down the date when it's going to be a year and have somebody do it. And I always forget. So now it'll be next week before I can get somebody to come over here and do it. So I apologize for that little beeping sound. Let me start off with saying that. Second, little housekeeping. Listen, y'all, if you want something more put together, something more organized, something more professional, I'm not it. I just come on here, I hit the button, and most times it's kind of last minute. I have a full-time job. I also have a side gig hustles in my real life. So I don't, and I have a grandson now. So I don't have a lot of time left to be editing and putting things together and getting this app. So this is what you're going to get. Okay. So if that's something that's going to bother you, my channel is not the channel for you, beloved. Go ahead and move on because if you drop down in my comments and say something stank to me, I'm going to say something stank back to you. I don't know why people think it's okay just because somebody's a content creator. I am not that hard up for views, nor am I that hard up for what you call it, subscribers or anything like that. I just come on here as I please. For you to say some ugly stuff to me, and I'll be okay with it. You be rude with me, I'm be rude back to you. Okay. So my channel ain't for you if it's just not gonna, if everything you look for everything to be perfect and all of that carved out in the big studio. I ain't it. Go on over there to somebody else. There's plenty of channels. I've just named off some folks I like. I just said I like Tarsha Global. Go over there. Hers is good. Go over there to St. James. She got it together. Go on over there to the Judge. She got it together. I could name off people all day. Okay. You ain't gotta watch me. I appreciate it. But if it bothers you, you ain't got to watch. Okay. That's what else do I want to say before I get started? When I get started, hey Marcus, when I get started, I'm not going to be able to look at the chat because I want to get through this. It was a lot. It was a lot said last night, and I just want to cover. Now I'm not going to play none of St. James. If y'all want to hear this, if y'all want to hear what was actually said, go on over there. There's about 15,000 people that seen that video, rightfully, because it's good from last night. When the Jordans came on, it was Manasseh, it was Bishop, and it was Pastor Deborah. She is delightful. She's a delightful lady. So go on over there and hear it. I'm just going to talk about what I came away with. Okay. I'm just gonna talk about what I came away with. Talk about my little notes. Okay. Remind you of your aunties. Say, let's see what's yeah, I was there last night. I didn't drop down because people be acting like I'm clout chasing and stuff. Y'all, I've been with St. James since when he first came over here, and y'all ain't know him. I was shouting him out then. So I guess I was clout chasing. I was clout chasing St. James on the potential of what I saw that he could be. So clout that. Somebody just dropped down in Judge T's chat and said, Miss Cruiser, you always in people chat all loud and wrong, so you can go over there to your dry channel with nobody over there. Obviously, you be over there because you know I'll be over here to make a video. I ain't made a video. I ain't been doing lives in a year. Like, folks, y'all be tripping. Hey, Oxy. Hey, Sugar. Hey, Sugar. So let me go ahead and get started and stop my fussing. Let me go ahead and get started because last night it was pretty good. And listen, I think that what Bishop said when he came out here is that he will not be bullied. He will not be bullied. He ain't scared of you. You ain't gonna come out here and threaten him and say, I'm gonna tell your wife. I'm gonna tell your wife. And him being Larry. So y'all know somewhere towards the beginning of this week, Larry Reed came out and said, if you don't stop talking about me, and I didn't even know Bishop Jordan was talking about him, and if you don't stop St. James for putting my picture in his thumbnail, I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna tell your wife everything. That's what Larry Reed said, and then Larry Reed went on to say, and I'm gonna tell everything, and I got recordings, and I got this, and I got that, and I'm gonna tell it. Well, Bishop Jordan, in response to that, went on Marcellus, the Mad, I think it's Mad Church Disease show, and said, Larry, 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 Larry. I think he said it 3 times, Larry, 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 to let him know, go on, do your big one. Shout out to Lemon. He ain't come up with that, do your big one. Do your big one. So Larry went over behind the membership wall and said some stuff. He insinuated that he said that Bishop Jordan had liked him and invited him to his bed. Bishop Jordan invited you to his bed. He said that Bishop Jordan said that he see Shamarko. He can't stand to see Shamarko because he just don't know. He just might fall for Shamarko. Larry said in that members live that Manasseh, Jordan's son, Manasseh is well known and doing well in the ministry in his own right. That Manasseh used to send him pictures of both. These pictures was them nasty pictures, them porn pictures of both men and women. That's what he said. This is what Larry said. He ain't come with no proof, no evidence, no receipts or nothing. This is what Larry said. Larry said he talked about money issues, that something about $300,000 that Bishop Jordan gave him or lended him, and he think he shouldn't have to pay it back. It was a lot said in that members. It was a lot of accusations. Hey, Sean Talks, thank you for coming on over. I know I saw you over there with Judge, and I was trying to stay, but I said, let me get this out because everybody going live, y'all. Y'all see Thais got St. James picture in his thumbnail. Ooh. Anyway, so I know a lot of Dr. Creole is live. Dr. Creole's live, so y'all can check them out also. Dr. Creole, Judge T. So it's going to be some responses today. So I said, let me go and get my little response in before the people come out here. So hello. If people come in, y'all speak to the people. As they come in, because I'm going to try to focus. Y'all know I get off and forget my thoughts, get the stutter and stuff. So I'm going to attempt to focus on what went on last night if I can get my tablet to work. Okay, because I took notes, and I took a lot of notes. So as I said, and as y'all see in the thumbnail, St. James did a live last night. The Jordan family responds, and on there was Archbishop Bernard Jordan and Manasseh, Prophet Manasseh, and then later on, Pastor Deborah, which is Bishop Jordan's wife, joined. And so But before I watch with St. James, I watched or last night also. I don't know what order, honey. I was up so late. I don't know what order. For Marcellus, y'all make sure y'all check out Marcellus Mad Church Disease. He did an excellent breakdown of that members live that Larry did. He did a real good breakdown. So y'all make sure if y'all have not seen that, and he had over 1,000 people in that chat, and he did an excellent job. So y'all check that out. Let me say this as a part of housekeeping too. Let me speak to people. Let me call out names. Let me say this: Daryl Moore, Marcellus Mass Church Disease, Thais, Larry Reed, Jives, anybody that I find myself talking about on this channel. Please understand, this for me, this is commentary. I'm doing content. I don't dislike you. I ain't trying to hang with you either. I can go over to your chats and sit in the bushes. I ain't got to drop down. I can just enjoy your commentary, which is usually how I enjoy it from the bushes. I'm okay because I come and go. When I say I come and go, that means I come to this channel and I disappear, and I come back when I feel like and I disappear. So I'm not looking for anything. I just come on when I enjoy it, make my few coins. Yeah, it's it's commentary for me. It ain't personal. I don't know you. You don't know me. If you want to go back and forth, I'm a Leo. I can argue. We Leos likes to argue, but it ain't personal, baby. It ain't personal, Shook. I was watching Thais yesterday. The best part of his show was when he started having all them people to say their profession. They was oh honey, it was everything in there. He got professional folks as follows, and I thought it was beautiful. It was beautiful to see all those Black professional people. Look, it was Black or whatever color, Black, Italian, white, whatever. It was nice to see professional people, and they just coming over there. They coming over there to enjoy your entertainment, Thais. You're entertaining to them. That's what the folks is coming for, and you're entertaining them. That's it. That's all. But let me be a little shady because y'all know I'm both shady, messy, and petty. Thais, when they was naming off their profession, you ain't never say what your profession is, honey. Past, present, or future. What you a fireman? Are you a police? Data entry? What you do? Are you an attorney? A chef? What you do, baby? Are you a school teacher? A college professor? What you do? What's your profession? I'm petty. It ain't personal. I'm just messy like that. Hey, pray for me. Anyway, back to the Jordan because Bishop Jordan told us to be. Hey, CH, CH. One thing about CH, you gonna drop down as soon as I start cutting up. You gonna drop down. Hey, Clear Vision said eating food all day. I was like, is he a fireman? Is he an EMS? Is he a pharmacist? Is he a pharmacist tech? What does he do? Is he a dietitian? Is he a doctor? Is he a podiatrist? A psychiatrist? A therapist? Is he a pastor? I would wonder what's his profession. All these people in this chat, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. I mean, it was going. Them people was everything. A profession, a stay-at-home mama. I did that for 12 years. I've been on my current job for 19 years. But prior to that, that's where I was. I was a stay-at-home mama. I stayed at home with my 3 children till the last one went to kindergarten, and then I went on to work. That was 19 years ago. What he do? Yeah, Bishop did tell us to be better, and I'm gonna get to that. But hey, just being me. Hey, sugar. I was just Clorinda. Is he David? What he do? That's why I was waiting on him to say what he did. What you do? Maybe he works on BET. Listen, let me go. Let me. Okay. Again, y'all check out Marcellus, and it ain't personal, y'all. It ain't personal. I enjoy all y'all. I'm just silly. I do this thing for entertainment. It ain't that serious. You want to throw a little shade back at me? I understand. I'm shady. Hey, I give it. I need to take it. I'm gonna have to stand in it. I give it. I'm gonna have to stand in it when it thrown back at me. Or I like the fact that y'all just ignore me and let me just pass by because surely don't give me no numbers over here. Anyway, Bishop Jordan says, find a more excellent way. Let me tell you one thing about Bishop Jordan, and I've already told y'all I don't, you know, certain thing. I'm not into the, get a word and like, come up and people give you a prophecy or whatever. However, I do enjoy his nuggets. You cannot deny that he's a very intelligent man, and he gives very good nuggets, very good financial advice, and sometimes just wise life advice. I enjoy that, and I respect that. So Bishop Jordan says, find a more excellent way. He was talking to content creators. He said, you vloggers. He said vloggers. Because I don't know whether he wants to call us content creators. He said, we ain't creating no content. But he said, vloggers, find a more excellent way. Instead of constructive way, find a creative way. That was one of the things he started out. He started out with a really good opening. Once St. James passed it over him, it was really some good stuff. And I know that some people, I saw Marcellus over in Judge T chat, and he said, he didn't care much for that. He was like, he don't know how this thing works. He don't know what this is. And I kind of agree. I understood where Marcellus was coming from with that he has to learn the algorithm. You can come over here and be as positive you want to. Folks won't miss. Folks want something salacious. Folks want something. They want something juicy. They love the gossip and the mess. I don't care whether you over in the beef sector. I don't care whether you over here in the carnal church sector. We give the people what they want. Got to give the people. Y'all know that song. I'm always singing some old song. Give the people what they want. But I understood what he was saying. Bishop Jordan thanked William McRae for reaching out to him and thanking him for saying that there are two sides to the story. William has been kind of mature in this thing, in his commentary in this thing. And I find myself looking forward to watching William again. Bishop Jordan said there is a more excellent way to do things, and you don't have to slander. He said you don't have to slander people to get this done. You don't have to, do that. It's a more excellent way. Manessa, I've been saying his name all day and now I can't say it. Manessa addressed the accusation of him sending photos of both men and women. Because like I told y'all before, Larry said that Manessa used to share photos with him of both men and women. And Manessa addressed that kinda. He said, I'm always sharing photos. You could go on my Instagram page and his photos all up and through there, which Manessa is right. He does. He shares a lot of photos. But he didn't deny. He kinda. Now, Manessa, you kind of didn't deny that you shared them naked photos with Larry. You kind of didn't deny it, but you don't have to. You don't have to. You can or you cannot. What I kind of gathered from that is Manessa said, I share what I want to share. Now what? Because I don't know. I didn't know what y'all thought of that. Did y'all think that he denied it? I don't know. He said, people see things the way they are. And I put that in quote. He said, people see things the way they are. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what that meant. And for some reason, I'm not seeing the chat. But I'm assuming that y'all not talking since I'm not seeing the chat. But I didn't know what that meant. People see things for the way that they are. But I don't think he denied it. But he didn't have to, say that what you want. Bishop Jordan acknowledged that he was addressed as mother. He kind of smirked a little bit at that. Would you say? I think Blott was a kind of mind your business. Okay, so you think that was a mind your business type statement? Because I didn't get it. I didn't get it, but he didn't deny it though. So Bishop Jordan did acknowledge. He said, the man over there calling me mother, you calling me mother, giving me a female pronouns and gendering me as woman. So that's when Pastor Deborah Jordan came on and addressed a picture. So there was a picture that I'm assuming, because I heard about, the way you are yourself. The way you are yourself. Okay. T. Daniel said, people can see that I like other things. Okay. Hey, Dre Riley. Thank you for coming in. So Pastor Deborah Jordan came on and addressed the picture shown of Bishop in bed and Larry kissing his forehead. And because I heard about the membership live and see people sent me clips, I ain't know about that one. So y'all can confirm in the chat. So there was a picture that was showed that Larry Reed showed in the member live of Bishop, him kissing Bishop on the forehead as he was asleep or something like that. Oh, okay. If you see me as a thief, it's because you are a thief. Okay. Okay. Because whatever that quote was that Manasseh said, his dad, Bishop Jordan, repeated. He repeated it. He repeated it. Okay. So this picture, did y'all see the picture? Did y'all see the picture? So Deborah Jordan came out and explained that, and what she said was, that it was Bishop Jordan's birthday. Okay. And she had told them to come, Larry and some others. And they showed up. Hey, Dr. Elizabeth Wellington, OBE. Thank you for coming in. That they showed up, they came. And she said when they got there, Bishop Jordan was asleep. So they was in the kitchen and she went in the room to see he was asleep. He was covered. He was dressed, had his PJs on, I'm assuming. And so she went back and she told them to come on in. And, he's asleep. Let's surprise him. And when they came in, Larry kissed him on the head. She said she was right there. She was right there. Okay. So that's what Pastor Deborah Jordan said. That's what Pastor Deborah Jordan said. And I thought it was great that he's like, come on here, honey. Come on here. We're going to all address this together. Me, you, and baby boy. We're going to address this together. And by the way, Marcellus live, he said that the text message, he brought out something that was interesting. And Marcellus in his live, he brought out something very interesting. Y'all remember that whole TD Jakes thing and how one of the messages was TD Jakes telling the dude, I love you, when they talked or whatever? Well, Marcellus brought out the point that when Larry would text Bishop Jordan and he showed the text, he would say, hey, I'm over here in Dubai. I love you. Like, why are we making something of one brother telling another brother, I love you? Why everything got to be sexual? Or now he in love with me. Now he want me because I said I love you. I want to go back to that. Marcellus brought that out in his live. So that, like, I'll just explain that Pastor Deborah said that Larry came to New York to surprise Bishop for his birthday. Bishop was asleep, and she was right there when he kissed him on his forehead and said, surprise. Pastor Deborah made it a point to say that she met Larry first and embraced him in the family. She met him. She's not one, from what I gather, she's not one that's real open to a whole lot of people, but she met Larry and she embraced him in the family. Hey, just being me. Well, yeah. That's why she came on. She got up on out of bed and came on in there with her classy self, and she addressed it because yeah, that picture was obviously spun a whole different way, but she addressed that over on St. James. Just being me, if you ain't watch it, yes, you would thank me. Go over and watch it, St. James. You'll thank me. Pastor, and this is just a side note. My impression of Pastor Deborah, I've seen her on different things, not a whole lot, but she is a delightful lady. She is just, she is. I just, when she talked, I stopped what I was doing. I listened. I wanted to hear what she had to say. I felt like she was very classy. Um, and I wrote in my notes, me and when you marry, who you marry, me and who you marry is very important to your character. It can either improve and build your character or your brand, it can boost it or it can harm it. And in my opinion, Pastor Deborah Jordan definitely boost Bishop Jordan's character. He chose wise, in my opinion. He chose wise. So Larry has been suggesting that he helped build Bishop Jordan. You know, he's saying, you know, oh, my people started following him. I introduced my people to him. However, Jordan said that he helped Larry, and in conferences he helped him raise offering. His people gave to Larry. So it's this whole who helped who, and I think they helped each other. I think that the whole deal, in my opinion, was from all the stuff I've been listening to over the past week and everything. He mentored or attempted to mentor Larry, and Larry kind of gave him some PR, maybe. You know, introduced him to the blogging world. I think, you know, that's kind of my opinion of it. Y'all kind of was a help to each other. The accusation that Manasseh trying to set his father up to take over, they addressed that. You know, St. James said, now look, you know, Larry said that you were doing these things and saying some things because you was trying to, you know, to hurt your father and to get him on out the way so that you can take over his dynasty. And so they addressed that. Manasseh said when Larry was disconnecting from Bishop Jordan, he asked Manasseh, would you stay my friend? Larry said, are you going to stay my friend? You know, we not cool the way we used to. Are you going to stay my friend? And Manasseh said he stopped communicating with Larry because Larry crossed the line. Manasseh said, look, I might have offended with you and complained about my daddy, but what you ain't going to do is you ain't going to sit up and complain about my daddy. You ain't going to sit up and talk about my daddy. Now, why people don't know that? Why people don't know that? If I'm sitting with my good friend and I'm talking trash or complaining about one of my family members, my cousin or my sister, so that don't mean you gonna open your mouth and say something negative about them, because now I'm gonna get mad. Now, is that a right thing? No, but that's human. You ain't gonna be sitting up talking about them. And he said that's what he felt like with him, because he felt like he crossed the line. Bishop Jordan said he's been preaching for over 40 years around the world, and he's never heard such rumors like the stuff that Larry said behind that paywall. And he said, why would he start all this stuff, flirting and Shamarko? If I look at him, he just gonna turn me on and come on around tomorrow. Well, he said, why would I start that stuff at 66 years old? And that's something Judge T said, and that's something I said. I said, you over the years you hear people talk about. I mean, like y'all, I'm 55 years old, so I go way back to the days when the infomercials used to come on in the middle of the night. He had them 3-hour infomercials and talking about prophecy and the prophetic and all of that. And you hear things over the, some people don't care for, he seemingly to be charging for a prophetic word, such and such and such. But the one thing that we ain't never heard about the Jordans, Archbishop Jordan and Deborah Jordan, is any of these rumors, any of this stuff that Larry is saying. And it seems to be something the go-to for that group over there, something sexual. That's weird to me. Would you say, T. Danielle? My stomach, I ain't gonna be on here long, but my stomach is beginning to growl, child, real loud, trying to embarrass me over here. T. Daniel said, I just had to have that convo with one of my friends about my brother. I told you he was a dog. You chose him. You can't call him a dog to me, even though I know he's one. Okay. We know, but you can't say it. Okay. What you ain't gonna do is be sitting up there talking about it. So it's been over 40 years that he's been in the public eye. We ain't heard such rumors, but all of a sudden now, okay. I do feel like Larry put 20 on 10. He definitely put some sauce on it. Oh yeah. So then the TD Jakes thing came up. When the TD Jakes name came up, I said, uh-oh. And I set up a little bit higher and I set up a little bit. So the question was, did the Jordans use Larry to shake down TD Jakes? Marcellus played a clip of Larry saying money was given by Jakes. It was talking about the money that was given by Jakes and the accusations and things like that. Marcellus played the clip. Now I'm gonna tell you something. That lawsuit was dropped against with that other guy. But now all of this talk about, well, let me go on with the notes. Manessa said that Larry has a vendetta against Jake. Manessa said that he said what he said about Jake's on his own platform. Manessa said, I said that stuff on my platform. Hey, Tracy, Tracy, how you doing? Oh, I just read you. It was your comment I just read. He said, Manessa said, whatever I said about Jake's, I said that on my platform. He said, and Larry picked it up and ran with it. Manessa said, I ain't never had no conversation, no interview or nothing like that with no Larry about TD Jakes. But he said Larry had a vendetta against TD Jakes before us. Not before them, because they ain't got no vendetta. Before he started talking to them or partnering with them or socializing with them, they said Larry had a vendetta against TD Jakes prior to them. So folks might be careful. The lawsuit might have been dropped against somebody. But if all this stuff keep coming out that you saying this and you saying that and folks playing clips, that lawsuit can switch around. But anyway, let me get off of that because I don't want to get in an argument about that. He said he never interviewed with Larry about TD Jakes. That's what Manessa said. Larry asked Manessa for $200,000. Now, this is for me where it started getting good with my Mississippi hand. Let's get to this money. Larry asked Manessa for $200,000, and Manessa told him to do better with your money. Manessa, he made it plain. I ain't letting you borrow no money if I don't see you have no way of paying it. How you gonna pay me back? And I'm seeing you do bad with your money. He said, do better with your money. You don't own anything. Manessa was like, you don't own no assets. You don't own nothing. Everything you got, you got them cars, but cars depreciate. You got all the stuff that you're bragging about and stuff, but you ain't really got nothing. How are you gonna dig yourself out and pay me back? How am I gonna get my money back? And I thought that was interesting that he said that. My daddy used to say, when people used to ask him to borrow money, he would say, you borrow my money, you don't pay Jesus. you won't pay Jesus. I know you won't pay Jesus, you won't pay me back my money. my daddy was the same. How you gonna pay me back? You don't pay nobody. Yes. You say, wait, Larry. He said, wait, Larry. When the money was mentioned, my ears perked up. Honey, mine did too. I was like, well, let me read on. They addressed Larry's accusation of them making him spend money. How can you, a grown man? I don't know whether Larry reached 50 or yet, but how you, a grown man? Somebody made you spend money. They made you go. Anyway, Bishop Jordan said Larry learned from him how to get money, but not how to sustain it. And I believe that. Because they was over there in Judge T's chat talking about Larry had made up to $30 million. And I said in the chat, $30 million, where is that? Where does $30 million at? And then they started, saying, yeah, you can go through $30 million. You're buying everybody cars. You're taking everybody on trips. You're renting place over here. Renting a place over there. And then you got these rental places that you ain't own, and you're building you out a studio in rental places. When these people come in and say, hey, I want my property back. Now they got themselves a rental studio because you're taking other people's. They said he was just going through the money. That's why he's losing his mind. Tracy Whitehead, baby. I'm gonna tell you like Manassa. No, I'm just playing. I don't know. I give you 200,000 because I can see you got assets. You got assets. I can give you 200. Ask the man for. And they said that Larry was trying to borrow money all over the place, asking this person for 10,000, trying to get money. And we're gonna tell you why in a minute. Preston World said Larry is the result of what happens when somebody from poverty gets rich without due diligence. That's what they were talking about over there in Judge T's over in Judge Alicia's chat. that, people win the lottery and end up broke. I had gave an example. It was this guy named Eric Kane. Eric Kane. I came to know him through way of the beef sector. Eric Kane was in Chicago and he was wrongfully convicted and he was in prison, I think, for 16 years. They gave that man, let me put it in the chat. Let me see if it'll let me cut and paste. It ain't probably gonna let me. No, it's not gonna let me. It's not gonna let me. But Eric Kane had something like, I think it was 10,800, no, 10 million. 10 million. $8,000 was awarded to him. 10 million. Let's just say 11, close to $11 million. By 2018, 2019, Eric Kane was practically homeless. I saw him on somebody's live, and this person on this live was taking up money for this man to have a place to stay that night. He got $11 million somewhere around 2014, 2013, 2014. By 2018, 2019, he was broke. Unfortunately, Eric Kane died broke. Close to $11 million. He died broke. Bishop said Larry learned from him how to get money, but he did not learn how to sustain it. And y'all hear me sometimes say, why do these people who beg so much, give me $8.88? These people just beg. They always asking for money, $100 line, $200 line, and it seems like they still broke. And I'm not just talking about here in this virtual space. I've seen people in actual life. Like, why you always broke? You always got your hand. And this is something that my husband say. If your hand is always open to receive, but it never flips over to give, you will always be in the position where you need. If you always receiving and you ain't never giving, you always going to be in the position where you need. But Larry's a giver. But Larry is the giver. He just pass out money. He treat money like it's candy. And when I'm gonna get rid of it, I'm gonna just wait till next Halloween and get me some more candy. I don't know. But he don't know how to sustain money. Look at y'all in here asking me for 200,000 to 10K and all that. I don't understand why people come into money. They don't buy laundromats or small apartments. Exactly. Invest that money. Let's say if you're going to move, you buy a house and you're going to move. You can rent it out. Because in most cases, around the area I live in, you can have a mortgage. The rent around here, could be anywhere from, and I'm in Carolina, so it's in some areas y'all in is much, much more. But around here, the rent could go anywhere from about $1,700 up to about $34,000, or a 2-bed. You can find you a 2-bedroom, a decent 2-bedroom for $1,400 a month. The mortgages don't even run that high around here on nice houses. So at least you can rent it out, Airbnb it, invest in something. But anyway. Then they said that Larry was taking out payday loans. Payday loans still legal. Let me tell y'all something. And y'all, by the way, I was the person who got me drunk. I was teasing her. This is the person. That's the person that had me all drunk up in Kentucky. I had the privilege of meeting this delightful lady and her sister. But when we was in Kentucky, we was coming from. We was in Louisville. It's pronounced, it looked like it's Louisville, but they say Louisville. So we're going to say Louisville. We were in Louisville, and we was riding back from, I forgot the brothers. It was a black distillery. We was coming back from the distillery. We passed a place that says, "We'll cash your check today." The sign said, and I read the sign. I said, "You see that sign?" The sign said, "We'll cash your check today, but deposit it in 2 weeks." And I said, "What the heck is that? What they mean by they'll cash your check today? They'll cash your check today and deposit in 2 weeks." That thing bothered me. So I asked my cousin about it. They said, "Yeah, they're going to give you the cash for it. You go in there and you take them a check for $100. They're going to give you the $100 or the $1,000 or however much it is. They're going to give you the money. They're going to cash it. Then they'll wait a couple of weeks, then you, but you're gonna have to pay back, $125. But that's a payday loan. I thought they outlawed that. I thought that was illegal. Anyway, yeah, it was the Bro Brothers. That's what it was. We was coming from Bro Brothers, riding back to the hotel, and I saw that sign. I said, what the? Anyway, yes, a rich man, a millionaire, $30 million. You tied $3 million and you taking out payday loans. And according to Manasseh, now this is all according to Manasseh. According to Manasseh, this is how he was living. He was living from payday loan and pay that off, and I'm gonna get another, and I'm gonna renew it. I thought they outlawed that thing. Tracy said, payday loans. I had a payday loan in college because I didn't know no better. Honey, I call myself getting one. I was in my 20s. So if I was in my 20s, this was in the 80s. So I was in my 20s in 80s, very early 90s. And I did a payday loan. I did a few of them. And my daddy got me out of that thing. He said, don't you go down there. Don't you go down there. I ain't getting you out no more. They're gonna own you. They gonna own you. When my dad got through with me, that was back when I was young. I ain't want no more. Cause when my daddy went on and he went down there, he was mean to them people when he went down there and pay them. He said, "When she come in here, don't you give her no more." He was mad about that thing. When I told him, when I get my check, I got to go down there and pay the blood. Honey, my daddy was like, "Don't you do that no more." That was back in the early 90s. You mean in 2025, people still taking out payday loans, and you telling me a man that could. Anyway, Nevada only allow you to have one payday loan at a time. They changed the name of it. Same concept. Yeah, because that thing said, we'll cash your check today, and we won't deposit it for 2 weeks. That's what the sign said. I wish I would have took a picture of it. Tale as old as time. That's why these charismatic churches are perpetually in bankruptcy. My. As King Pia say, my. And that's kind of bothersome. That I can't stand to see throwing away money. Y'all get your money straight. Get your money straight. Manasseh said that his plan was to ask his people for donations to get out of his financial situation. That was his financial plan, to ask his people, his followers, his virtual members or whatever. Larry was going to ask his people to get him out of this financial bind that he was in. And Manasseh said, you shouldn't be raising money over your personal financial disposition. Hey, Ann Brock, thank you for coming in. That's not what you raise money for your personal financial disposition. Your people got to pay for your payday loans. Y'all watch where you sow your money to. The Bible says to sow your money on good ground. Anyway, y'all do what you want to with your money. I'm gonna take my money. I'm going on me a bunch of trips and a bunch of cruises. Now, I told y'all yesterday that the Jordans was trolling. Y'all remember I told y'all yesterday that they was in chats, dropping super chats in Williams Live, and they dropping super chats over there in Thais Live, and they sending cash apps and stuff. I told y'all they was trolling. Bishop Jordan said that he gave $100 cash app, which got discussed for 45 minutes. He said it was a $100 investment, because he said that $100 investment got them to talking about him for 45 minutes. And when people talk about you, all they're going to do is come look for you. Let me go see who this Bishop Jordan is. He said that $100, I dropped that $100, and they talked about me. Thais talked about me for 45 minutes. Then he said it took him 20 minutes to return the thing, because he had the discussion. I return it. Y'all think I should return it? I'm going to return it, honey. He said it took him 20 minutes to send that cash out back. Told y'all they were trolling. That's my opinion. They were trolling with that money. Bishop said, clicks fade, but character stays on a record. The best thing about that live to me last night were two things. Three things. Three things. Number one, seeing Deborah Jordan talk and listening to her, she was delightful. Number two, all of those nuggets, and some of it I had to write down in my personal journal that Bishop Jordan said about being a vlogger, about being a content creator, about money. That was the second thing. The third thing was Manasseh is funny as all get out. Manasseh is he is hilarious. He's hilarious. And Manasseh and St. James, little jokes and little faces they were making. Bishop had to say, all right, y'all. All right. Knock it out. You know, he didn't say that, but that's in my mind. That's what I was thinking. Y'all stop cutting up. Because they were like cutting up. Manasseh, I love to see Manasseh and St. James together. They are so funny to me, but Manasseh is funny. I really enjoyed that last night. But he said, clicks fade, but character stays on record. Jordan said, stop niggerizing. Archbishop Bernard Jordan said, stop niggerizing your money and libertize your money. Okay. He said, no one can afford to lose $10. And I love this because this is something I say all the time. Bishop Jordan said, no one can afford to lose $10 versus $500,000 because you're still running a business. Let me say that again. No one can afford to lose $10 versus $500,000 because you're still running a business. This is something I personally hate hear people say. $50, that ain't no money. $1,000, that ain't no money. That's the most ignorant thing I ever heard. And that's a poor mentality thought. Somebody gave an example, and I thought it was an excellent example. When you ride through McDonald's and your bill at McDonald's is $10, McDonald's making millions and millions and billions of dollars is not going to say, oh, it's just $10. There ain't no money. Go on. Because they'll be broke doing that. Every $10 builds up to their millions, to their fortune. Bishop said, no one can afford to lose $10 versus $500,000 because you're still running a business. And he said that in response to them saying that he should have just let Matthew Stevens off. You know, you can afford it. You're a millionaire. You can afford it. You ain't have to call him out over 1 year worth of rent he ain't pay you. You're like, that's bad business. That ain't even good business. Y'all stop saying that little bit of money. Let me tell y'all something. And I've said this before. My husband is 7 years older than me. And when we married, I was 21 years old. So by the time we married, he had already been established. He had already owned some stuff. He had already been established in his career stuff. And I'm younger. I'm coming out. Basically, I had my own apartment, but my daddy I just told y'all how my daddy had to help me with that. My daddy handed him the insurance. He said, here's her car insurance. You can go ahead and add her little car insurance to your insurance. And here's her little, how much she owed for her car. I was still getting, so I went from my daddy to my husband, right? So I'm learning how to do things. And I didn't do things exactly as my husband did it. Because I'm younger. And I remember I used to laugh at him because if he saw a penny, a quarter, a dime, or something on the ground, he'd pick it up, he'd put it in his car, and he'd get home, he'd add it to his jar. Right now, he got change out, and he'll let that big old huge jar add up, and he'll go put it into now my grandson's account that he's saving money for my grandson that we just had. That he started when he first found out the boy was in my daughter's stomach. But anyway. But even before that, I would see him. I'd be like, you act like you can't stand to see a dollar drop. You got to pick up that quarter. I used to talk about him. And y'all know we ain't together, but we still do business together and stuff like that. He called me one day. He said, this was some years ago. He done traded cars three times since then, or bought 2 other cars since then. But he called me. He said, I want this car. And he told me how he wanted the car. He said, I want that car to be rolled off. I want them to bring it on in. I want them to roll it off the truck, brand spanking new. But when they roll it off, this is what I want them to do to it. I want them to put running boards up here and specialty down here. And he said all the things he wanted on that vehicle. So I called my friend Jack, and Jack got it because Jack worked at the car lot that sold his car, and he got this brand new car together. And this is the price it's gonna be for it. We got up there, and Josh, that's my husband, pulled out his checkbook. Jack said, no. You have to bring you about to pay cash. He's like, yeah, I'm paying for this. Ain't gonna be no payments. Ain't gonna be no payments. I'm paying for this. And as they was having it, and Jack was like, nah, you ain't write no check in here. You're gonna have to go down to the bank and get you a cashier's check or whatever. And they talking this to me, this is what them talking, it sound like womp, 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 womp. Because at the moment I was thinking, I need to change the way I do money. I should have been listening to him all these years. I need to change the way I do money. My thoughts then changed about money. Now I'm counting every dime. I want to know where that $5 went. I want to know where that $3.99. I got $3.99 back in change. Where did I put it? It ain't no more. That's just a little bit of money for me. I couldn't walk anywhere and just buy a car brand new, and I done had it souped up, and I'm about to pay cash for it. I learned then. I learned. So y'all asking the wrong one. Y'all need to go ask my husband for $10,000. I ain't got it. But anyway, I ain't got it yet to just give out like that. But anyway, let me go on with my notes. I just thought I would throw that in. Y'all watch how y'all talk about money. People think that they doing it big. Talking, that's just a little bit of money. That's just ain't no little bit. Anyway, I hope y'all get what I'm saying. I hope y'all picking up what I'm putting down. Jordan said Jordan said he didn't come to Larry for money. He said Larry had none when they met. When they start partnering, he said Larry didn't have no money. So he couldn't have came to Larry for no money because Larry didn't have no money. He said at the time Larry was somebody said something about Larry was saying that he was hoping to make $6,000 a month. That was his hope. He didn't have no money. He said that he lifted Larry off the floor. That's what Bishop Jordan said. He said, I lifted Larry off the floor. He was on the floor when I met him. I lifted him. And this is something I put in my notes. In my opinion, some folks' skill set is the hustle for today. That's what they got them. They know how to hustle for today. They know how to get that money that's going to last them a week or to the next month. But they don't know how to build for the future. Every day you hustling, but you ain't building for the future. That I had to just throw that in there. Thais had the people to call. Oh, I told y'all about that earlier. That was in my notes. How he had the people to call in, talk about their occupation, but he ain't say what his was. Bishop Jordan said that we don't know what. Hold on, I can't read my own notes. Oh, Bishop Jordan said he don't know what gave Larry the notion that he wanted him. He said he had no idea what in this world. He said he tried to wrap his mind around it and ponder it. And he said then when he wrapped his mind around and pondered it, he was trying to get it out his mind. That thing tickled me. I love the way Bishop Jordan say things and word things. He said, I tried to imagine that. I want him. I want him to come to my bed. He said, then I was trying to work on getting myself out of it. Honey, him and Pastor Deborah was laughing at that thing. They were laughing at you, Larry. You talking about you want him. He said he don't know what gave him the noise. He acknowledged that they threw him shade by addressing him as a female pronouns and mothers and saying she. He acknowledged that they were throwing. Jordan said Larry can't be trusted. I repeat again. Bishop Jordan said Larry cannot be trusted. Jordan said anyone who told Larry anything. He said if you partner with Larry, you had your little time with Larry like he did, where you was hanging with Larry and you told him anything, get ready. As our running back, Rico told the Cowboys last week, buckle up, because he said when money get tight for Larry gonna tell it. It's gonna become content. That's what Bishop Jordan said. Bishop Jordan Bishop Jordan was talking about building a group of vloggers. He said he wants to build a group of vloggers to be more responsible, to be more professional. He wants to build good, responsible, positive content creators. Now, I don't know how you're gonna do it, Bishop Jordan, but I'm sure you can. But because these people out here want the mess. These folks want the mess. They want gossipy mess. That's what they want. But I'm sure that he'll be able to somehow do it. He encourages positive. He said millionaires are not going to partner with reckless mouths. Bishop Jordan said, if you're a vlogger, you're a content creator, and you have a reckless mouth, millionaires don't want to partner with you. They don't want to put their ads on your page. They don't want you to be the spokesperson for their product. Bishop Jordan says that he won't be bullied. He made that clear. You're not going to bully me. You're not going to threaten me. I'm not going to run and tuck my tail because you come out here and throw out some threats. He said, no gossip can cancel grace. No gossip can cancel out grace. I received that. When he said that, I received that for myself. A classy mess. Yes, I'm gonna have to be classy. I'm gonna have to. I wonder if he'll take the petty. Can you take the petty vloggers? I'm a little. I'm classy with it anyway. And he said, choose peace over pettiness. I just said I was a little petty. He said, choose peace over pettiness. And I found that interesting because some of the things that Bishop was saying that he would like to see the vloggers do, and he would like to build a group of vloggers to do, is something that I've been kind of struggling with. Y'all know I had a channel over in the beef sector, Cruiser 007. They used to be Miss Cruiser, but now Cruiser 007. And I said, I spent so many years tearing down that now I want to get to the point of building up. I said this prior to watching this live or listening to Jordan. It's something that I've been struggling with, even with this channel. I'm like, what I'm gonna do with this channel? What I'm gonna do with this channel? Because I just didn't want to do certain things anymore. So I'm gonna be listening to Bishop Jordan in the coming days concerning his vision for vloggers and see what it is I can pull from that and what I can pull from that and what I can do if any of it. But anyway, that's the end of my notes. I found that again, St. James live was very good last night. I enjoyed it from beginning to end. I have found myself enjoying these, like I said, St. James live. I'm enjoying it from beginning to end. Tarsha Global, I'm enjoying her from beginning to end. Mad Church Disease with Marcella, enjoying it from beginning to end. I am entertained. Y'all giving me a place to go and entertaining, and I'm enjoying watching the Jordans. Who knew that I would actually say that I'm enjoying watching something about y'all hold on one second. Sorry about that, y'all. When my phone ring, it takes me out. I always forget to tell y'all to hold on while I'm answering my phone. But I never thought in a million years I would find myself enjoying, because I don't do the prophecy thing. So I never thought in a million years I would find myself enjoying Bishop Jordan. I'm not shocked that I'm enjoying Deborah Jordan. She's delightful. And Manasseh, I enjoy him too. He tickles me. Something about Manasseh reminds me of my middle child, my grandson's daughter. Well, I know what it is, but I'm not going to say it. But he puts me in the mind of her. They're somewhat alike in things that they say and how they say it, even facial expressions. He really reminds me of my daughter, Leslie. I have thought that Larry put a little sauce on his. Oh, okay, I read that. Anyway, thank y'all for coming in. That's all my notes. I wanted to share that with y'all. He said the beef sector gets mentally draining after a while. Yeah. I mean, they moved on. The beef sector has moved on, and everything have to move on. Everything have to move on and go somewhere else. So, Preston World said he wants to make Larry relevant. I think he can do it with Sir James and William. Who wants to make Larry relevant or irrelevant? He wants. Okay, let me read that correctly. Preston World says he wants to make Larry irrelevant. I think he can do that with Sir James and William. Yeah, because William is whose side are you leaning on? William is on the side of Bishop Jordan, and he is now, Bishop Jordan mentioned him a few times last night. So my mom is the wealthiest spokesperson. I heard that. And I kind of know what you mean by that. Like people who be having that money, but they ain't considered rich, but they got it. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's see what else I left out. Honey, he can't fund your lifestyle, honey. He getting payday loans. He can tell you allegedly the people say he get payday loans. He can point you in the direction where to get a payday loan. That's what he can do in the dirt. No, he can't fund your lifestyle, Tracy. You like all that Spencer lip. You like them Spencers. You like them Spencer libations. You like the top shelf libations. Then you like to get them and create it, put them together in a cocktail. I love when I meet people. I love it, love it, love it. Did I get a super chat? Thank you, Sugar. Thank you. What about Lady Dimple's prophecy? She's good with her hands. Anybody hear that? Yeah. Well, okay. So let me be honest about that. I started kind of fading a little bit. I don't know why I can't put that up on the thing. Oh, put on stage. I started kind of fading, and thank you for the super chat. Kind of a little bit, I kind of went over to the left when they started doing, when they was giving the money, and I'm glad that St. James was blessed in that live last night with super chats and cash apps and Zelles and PayPals. But when they started doing the prophecies and stuff, I kind of, I put my non-Baptist finger up and tipped out. But I didn't see that. I'm gonna have to see now. I'm gonna have to message old Lady Dimples. I'll have to message old Lady Dimples to see if there's anything else I missed. I don't know why my thing is acting like this. Okay, it was at the end. Hey, Nate Carter. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've seen you, Nate. How my little friend doing? How my little buddy doing? Sean said he's already irrelevant. I don't know. He still have pretty good followers. And listen, let me be clear. Hold on, y'all. Okay, let me be clear. I don't wish for nobody's downfall. Larry Reed is out here. He's been doing this vlogging thing and all of that. I don't want to see the man broke. He's got daughters. You gonna send him over? Come on, send him on then. Send him on then. I can have him helping me out with my grandson. But hey, hey, Sis Low, Miss Sis Low. I don't want to see, Larry broke or anything. He got daughters that either in college or probably need to go college. I know about having kids. I got kids. I just told y'all. I'll be taking my grandson down to the daycare in the morning. I have to help my kids out like my parents had to help me out. So I don't want to see any black man broke. So yeah, he got himself to blame. Yeah, he's gonna have to make better money if he's indeed broke. He's gonna have to make he's gonna have to make much better money decisions, and we all have to come to that. I just told y'all when I saw my husband buy that car like that, I decided that day, and I did. I from that day on, I started making better money decisions for myself. Because I said, "Come on now, here, what we doing here? I want to be able to walk in and just go on to buy it brand new. Right on, pull it on off the little truck down into the showroom and let me buy it. No loan. I ain't mess with nobody's loan. That's nice. I want to have them. I want to have them coins like Nate Carter. I want to go buy me a yacht. I want my yacht built like this. This is how I want my yacht built, and just buy it. I want to be able to do that. Nice yacht. See, I'm telling Nate's business. He gonna get me later. He gonna get me later. Yes, I remember you. Yeah, yeah. I want to be like I just said. I ain't tell all your business, but since you telling it, Nate ain't another one go on that car lot. Just buy him a car. Go down there and have them to just build him a yacht. This is how I want it. I'm gonna meet y'all over in Miami or North Carolina or somewhere to pick up my yacht. That's how you do it. This is what I know. This ain't what I heard. This is what I know. But anyway, I went on a cruise in August with some people from the most of the people except for one. Really, BTV was the only one that was on that cruise with me that was from the internet that I had already met her once before, and but one of the people on there had owned a jet that was on the cruise with us, owned a jet, an airplane, and I ain't talking about no duster either, no crop duster, actual plane. He owns his business. He does well with his business. So you have people that's doing very, very well, and I've been able to rub shoulders with, rub elbows with him. You're gonna be over here. You gonna have to holler at me. Don't be telling his business all in the chat. Maybe it was other people that would have went. I don't have to be talking about him. I don't have to be talking about him. But yeah, make good. Y'all are among people every day that sits among us that's doing well in life, have made good investments. Oh yeah, and there was something said about that he said one of the things that Bishop Jordan had convinced him to buy was private airplane time, like flights, like future flights. He said, I ain't even flown on the private jet yet, but I paid for it. And so last night, I can't remember whether it was Manasseh or whether it was Bishop Jordan. He said, well, you can sell that. It's worth a lot more money than you bought it for now. So you can go and sell that. You about to liquidate them assets. You about to liquidate them Gucci, liquidate that Gucci. You can liquidate, if you got any LV bags, you can liquidate that. They resell a lot of that designer stuff. You can liquidate it and go and get yourself in a better, get out them payday loans. But anyway, let me stop before I go too far. Let me stop before I go too far. I ain't saying it's an asset. I'm just saying it depends on what you got. Some of that stuff resell. You got them designer bags. You can resell those. People resell those all the time. All the time. Sure can. Sure can. You use it for however long you're going to use it. You ain't got much use for it anymore. Go on and throw it up there on Posh or consignment and get your little money back. Liquidate. Yes, you can. No, you ain't gonna get what you paid for it. However, one of my friends, her channel is called Nothing But Bags. My actual friend, traveled with her and everything. I know her. But her channel is called Nothing But Bags. Put that in, she's gonna pop right up in purple. Nothing But Bags. She has a large collection of designer bags, and she did this video on. She's talking about, you have so many bags, you're not using them all, right? So you can't carry them all. And she said, find the ones that you find yourself not carrying and figure out how you're going to, you could sell or give away some of the ones that you're not carrying. And she was talking about determining how much use you've gotten out of it. So when you resell it, let's say if you bought that bag for $2,000, and you end up reselling it for $1,400. Well, if you got the good use out of it, then okay, you bought the bag when you wanted it. You enjoyed the bag. You carried the bag. Now you're going to sell the bag and get some money out of it. Now, I ain't saying that you do that as your business, but I'm just saying that's what you can do with some of that designer stuff that you have. That you find it's just sitting on the shelf. You're not using it. Then that's what you can do with it. And she talked about that in the live one day. So that's what I mean. Hey, Long Island Princess 444. Thank you for coming in. Nate, I did go to the DR. I talked to you when I was in the DR. You told me you was 2 hours away and that y'all was opening a restaurant or something like that. I was in the Dominican. You forgot? So you getting old. You forgot. I was in Punta Cana in April. I was in Punta Cana in April, in Curacao in May, and not by boat. I flew over there, but when I talked to you, y'all had some type of opening that you was doing. See, Nate got that long money. Nate got that long money, right? But I was over there. But I can come on around to Louisiana. But we'll talk. We'll talk. We'll talk. All right, y'all. Y'all be good. Y'all be good. Let me go over here and see what else is going on. Thank y'all for coming in. Thank you for the super chat. I hope I didn't miss any because I don't know how to use this new StreamYard real good yet. So hopefully I didn't miss any. That's my Cash App if any of y'all want to be a blessing. Hey, Faithful Wisdom. Thais has a big picture of St. James' face on his live now. And about to do response to last night. And you know I'm going over there too to see you. You know our show is. I am gonna hit you up, Nate. You know I'm gonna show go over there. So thank y'all. There's my Cash App if y'all want to be a blessing. Listen, y'all. If you want to go on a cruise, I would love for y'all watching the replay. You in here now. I would love for y'all to please join me on the cruise. You can't afford it. You can't afford it. Come on, it's just 3 days. We're gonna go over to Orlando. We're gonna have a good time the night before. Really, BTV is going. Y'all see Tracy in the chat. She's going. There was another young lady that was in the chat. She's going. We have I think 23, 24 cabins. It's about 30 something people, both men and women. Y'all come on and go with me. Is he mad? I'm coming over there. Save me a seat, Faithful Wisdom. Save me a seat. I'm coming. But y'all come on and go on this cruise with us. It's not too late. It's not too late. So hit me up for details of this cruise. Join us. We're going to have a good time. So y'all join me. All right. Y'all remember to live in peace on purpose. Live in peace on purpose. That's number one. Number two, no matter what you're going through, keep praying, keep believing, keep having faith, and keep telling yourself all is well until your faith mind lines up with it and it manifests in your life. All is well. Thank y'all so much for coming over. I'm going over there to Thais to see what he got to say. Y'all have a good day.